Alright, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I'm out with the Welsh wizard here, Joss. we're going doing a bit of exploring on Anglesey, so and a wild camp as well, so no doubt you're going to come along with us and have a look at what we get up to, where we go, and hopefully we can tell you a bit of history of where we're going to as well. So the first port of call is an abandoned mansion. Should be interesting. Alright, lad. Our first explore is within the Barron Hill country estate. The original Barron Hill mansion was built by Sir Richard Bulkeley in 1612. However, he died before the completion of the house and it was not finished to his specifications. During the English Civil War, Richard Bulkeley's successor, Colonel Thomas Bulkeley, later First Viscount Bulkeley, is said to have invited King Charles I to take possession of the house and set up his court here. The house was reconstructed in 1776 by architect Samuel Wyatt in a neo-Palladial style, as is obvious from the curved facade of the current ruined building to the terraces, follies and balconies. There is also an ice house in the gardens and a lodge house. In the 19th century, the occupants of Barron Hill remained the dominant Anglesey landowners, possessing estate also in Llanfyfechan and also parts of Carnarvonshire. During World War I, death duties soaked up the family's fortune and made it impossible for the family to continue to maintain the house. During the Great War, Royal Engineers were stationed at the house. Blimey, I didn't expect that. This big old building, didn't expect that. It's towering above anything else. Wow, a lot of stuff has collapsed in it. Oh, I didn't expect that. Wow. What an incredible place this is. You just don't realise how big this thing is. If there's nothing, all the undergrowth was cut back, then you'd just see it in its true form really. Obviously abandoned and derelict. But what a fascinating place just to walk round. In 1939, at the outbreak of World War II, the mansion was requisitioned by the government and used as a temporary housing for Polish soldiers. The Polish soldiers found the house too cold and decided to start a fire within the mansion, so they would be moved to new housing accommodation. The fire destroyed a large part of the interior and the soldiers were moved from the house, but only to the tents on the Barron Hill estate grounds. The mansion was abandoned afterwards and is still abandoned and derelict to this day. Well, in a minute. In August 2008, the plans were submitted to restore the house and turn it into luxury apartments, but this doesn't seem to have materialised. I could do a full video on this place here. It's just so fascinating. It really is, and the history behind it as well. But I'm not going to. I'm going to put on to the bits and pieces we're doing today. Main thing's a wild camp, but so we head to next, shall we? Right, part 2 of exploring abandoned places before we end up wild camping in an abandoned place. If I had a backpack now as light as what I'm not carrying, I'd love it. It's just when you're carrying about 12 to 15 kilo, it gets flipping heavy. Look at the view. I don't know, is it? This way. Oh, is it? Right. If I was in France along the coastline, I could have sworn it was part of the Atlantic Wall. It just reminds me of it.
We are now exploring the abandoned Tan Dinas limestone quarry, which was set up in the late 1800s. Initially, the quarried limestone was carried by pony and cart up a steep incline, which we've just walked down. A wooden pier was constructed around 1900. However, due to economical reasons, the quarry was closed around 1912, but this wasn't the end of the quarry. Immediately after World War II, the quarry was reopened under the ownership of Carwood Wharton and Company Limited, this time on an industrial scale. A new crusher house for powdering limestone was built. A single-cylinder, water-cooled horizontal diesel engine from National Gas and Oil Engine Company, Ashton-under-Lyne, was used to power the pier conveyors and crusher. Chippings and other large grades were also extracted. A new pier was built with a conveyor system to carry the stone for loading the company's barges. All quarrying ceased in 1959, and 2 years later, most of the machinery and the internal 2-foot gauge railway were removed.
So if you come here to look at this, what's left the remnants of the quarry, it's a very steep path going down, and obviously even steeper going up. But whether it's worth it or not, I don't know. Not a lot to see really. So if you've got to come down here, nice beach but full of pebbles. Come on a nice day. I don't know where you're going to really see that properly, to be quite honest with you. Well, we're on a final leg of our journey. You see, we've got the backpacks on now, so after the adventures looking at all the abandoned stuff you've seen before on here, obviously, then we're going wild camping. Now, I won't tell you where we're going, but people who've been here before and who know it's a pretty popular place. Became more popular when the pandemic was just about to end. It became like an holiday camp. We came down just for the day. There was that many people here, it was ridiculous. So we've come on a Sunday night. Hopefully there's not many people here. Just have to see what happens. I'll be honest with you, it's no secret. This is advertising all sorts of different guidebooks. It was advertising the Camping and Caravanning Club one recently. It's called Porthwen. It's an old Victorian brickworks. So we'll have to go down and have a look at who's here. And hopefully we get a wild camp here tonight.
Porthwen Brickworks, first built by Charles E. Tidy, is now a disused Victorian brickworks which produce fire bricks made from quartzite, which were used to line steel making furnaces. Bricks works included quarries, an inclined tram road to the works, a crushing house, moulding shed, drying sheds and kilns. The brickmaking operation was supported by storage hoppers, engine house, boiler house, chimneys, warehouse and a quay. After drying, the bricks were then fired in one of the 3 circular downdraft kilns, also known as Beehive or Newcastle kilns. After firing, the bricks were stored in the main 2-storey brick building. Bricks were then loaded onto ships using a crane moored at the loading quay. Brickmaking started on the site in the mid-19th century and ceased production in the first half of the 20th century between 1924 and 1949.
As I said before, it's very popular, this place, mainly for people who won't come down and photograph it all, maybe learn a bit of history about Porthwyn and what it was all about. So far there's another couple of you taking some photographs, but I don't think they're going to camp, unless I've missed something. But we may have this place all to ourselves when it gets dark. Just finished putting my tent up. As you can see, there's Joss's. That's our table for tonight when I get some cooking. Well, rehydrating really. And look at this for a background. Welsh version of Durdledore. Look at it, it's beautiful, isn't it? And then when you spin it round, you've got all that as another background, or a foreground, whichever way you want to look at it. Absolutely stunning here. Oh, slight change of plan. That was initially our table, but you see it's lopsided, so I'll have to cut one of the legs down, or both 2 legs down, like level it better, you know. Anyway, Joss has got that bit of a brickwork plateau over there, which is quite flat, so we're going to, well, I'm going to rehydrate some food anyway. I'm not sure what he's brought. So I'm a man of little means. I'm not good at cooking, but I'm all right at rehydrating. I'll show you what I've brought anyway. Right, inside here is a bit of monkey shoulder whiskey. Lovely and smooth, I like that. Usually drank Bushmills, but I've drank all that, or Sharon has anyway, 1 or 2. Bushmills, monkey shoulder. Right, and this bag, inside these cups is a Bovril. Lovely beefy drink, it's absolutely lovely that. If I had a butty I could dip it in, it's that nice.
Where was Bovril invented, really?
Hey?
Where was Bovril invented?
I don't know. Bovril tree, I think.
No, the history behind it, the World War II history, do you remember?
I think it is. I know what Bolly Beef was anyway. Packet of crisp, bit crappy really. I've even brought Buglugs one as well when I find it. I bought 2 packets of crisp, bit flat. I've got 2 of these rehydrated pudding. So me and Joss want one.
Are we having some of that?
Yeah, mate. I've got some 2-in-1 coffee. Easy. I've brought some sweeteners. Have you brought some sweeteners?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I've got some in my pocket as well. So sweeten them as well. 2-in-1. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got a nice bar of chocolate for us after. That's again for sweet. But the piece de la resistance is pot noodle. Told me, a man of little means, or whatever that I said. And I've got a choice there: pot noodle, original curry. So when I'm coming camping, it's just simple. It's light. It just needs rehydrating. It's light. What I like about it, that's the main thing. So I don't like carrying everything heavy because I'm murder for overloading everything. So anyway, that's what I've brought. I bet it weighs less than a pound, all of it.
Yeah, I'll put your hand out.
Well,
Or if you got. Yeah, I'll put them in here. There's some there, right?
yeah. Whew. That's hot, man. And Josh has given me some beef jerky. Never tried that. It's like dried meat, but when you put it in your mouth, it rehydrates itself. Flipping lovely it is. That's interesting. It's not lighting. Right, ladies and gents, time to go to bed. We've been up most of the day. We've been exploring a couple of abandoned areas, and then obviously where we're camping is abandoned anyway. Beautiful place here. Whichever way you look inland, you see all them gorgeous buildings, you know, abandoned buildings, but you turn to the other way and you find all the sea. And being the weather it has been today, which has been absolutely lovely, it's been even better really. But yeah, it's just stunning. So I'll wish you good night, and no doubt I will see you in the morning. Morning. Bit chillier and definitely windy. Today it was raining all night and it was windy, but generally it looks all right today actually. Really nice. Yeah, it's just a little bit cold, that's all. But yeah, been a good day yesterday. They thought it was just the wind shaking that tent then. Ah, that man can sleep. There's a bit of a beach there and access to the water. It looks very stony. We were thinking of going for a wild swim in there today, but it's really, really cold. My hands are freezing, so I'm not risking it. It's just too much for me. But you can see if you came here on a really hot day, you can go for a little paddle in that water, I reckon. Obviously you've got to be safe just to make sure. There's some like buoys that's there. Now Josh says they might be lobster pots, so I'm not sure obviously, but you will keep away from them anyway. This is where our rubbish goes. Brought a spare bag, all in there, take it away, leave no trace. Ready for going. There's the bag of rubbish on back of my bag. Josh was round this area there, and I was over where that little bush is. You can see, as always, one of the codes of conduct for wild camping is leave no trace. And that's what we've done. We've took all our stuff. That's put some stuff on there, and then a few bits and pieces where Joss has packed his bag up. We'll take all that away and be nothing left, so you won't even know we've been here. Now hopefully we're walking back to the car. It should be a coastal path here, so we're walking hopefully across here, past that little cottage house, whether it's at front or back I don't know, and then walking further over there, only a couple of miles I think, 2 or 3 miles, and then we're back to the car. Then obviously we're driving wherever we're going next. Right, that's the end of the video. I'd like to thank Joss for taking me on this journey of seeing 3 abandoned places and camping in one of them. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Got it right this time.